know if you caught on this, but there's 4 groups sponsoring this, and we each are asking a question, or asking a series of questions. I'm with the Seattle Neighborhood Coalition. Successful urban planning helps target where jobs and housing development occurs while ensuring necessary transportation infrastructure and public amenities to support these. In the past, we called this the urban village strategy. Seattle has seen explosive job growth fueled by tax and other incentives provided by the city. Rather than managing growth, we are encouraging unfettered demand on housing and infrastructure and have arguably failed at implementing successful housing and transportation policies because we are clearly delivering too little, too late to support this job growth. The planning director, Sam Asefa, has called Mayor Murray the planner-in-chief, and that planning has largely been based on a backroom deal to upzone large swaths of the city, called the Grand Bargain, which we addressed earlier, and to support transit infrastructure, which delivers mass transit to limited parts of the city decades from now. What would you do different if you were planner-in-chief to address the growing pains that Seattle is experiencing?
So again, I go back to vision. The vision thus far for this city has been a place where developers can develop unfettered in whatever way that they want to serve their own interests, and that includes corporations like Amazon and Google, and it includes folks like Paul Allen and Jeff Bezos. To be honest, those are not my closest ties and relationships in the city. My closest ties and relationship in the city are coalitions. They're with other workers in our city, and they're with social movements and labor movements. And what I'm interested in is revisioning what a city looks like that is affordable, that pushes for the hard ask that I will keep putting out there. 25% of affordable housing from the private market, rework the Grand Bargain, push for rent stabilization, other market intervention strategies like dealing with speculative capital. People can afford to come in our city and buy up homes that they're not going to live in at prices you and I will never ever be able to pay, and the market just keeps going up. That said, when we deal with social issues in our city, we continue to leverage a regressive tax structure to do that, including the property taxes and the soda tax and the various sales taxes that we put on. And what we do is we continue to harm the cash poor folks and the black and brown folks and the workers of our city. And so we just need to realign with some different principles. And I'm not going to pretend it's going to be easy and it's going to take way more than 4 years. Like, let's not have the Obama effect here. Any person running for office that gets up here and tells you they're going to fix affordable housing in 4 years is lying to you. Because we've been going down this road for a long time. What I am committed to doing is taking those drastic steps for some very emergent issues that are facing us to start putting us policy-wise in the right direction that we can actually start to address the issue. It's not going to be perfect in the next 4 years, but we can at least get ourselves on a principled path in the right direction that utilizes every tool that's in our toolkit for a short-term, a midterm, and a long-term strategy that actually envisions a more equitable and affordable Seattle.
Peter Steinbrück, who is formerly a council member, wrote a report a couple of years ago that looked at how the urban village strategy had been implemented and discovered that many things within that strategy worked pretty well in terms of getting growth, but that the growth was not equitable throughout all the different urban villages. Some took a lot of growth, some took very little. The city has a variety of tools at its disposal to help balance that out. For example, the multifamily tax exemption is supposed to give tax breaks to developers who build in communities where they can't get higher rents so they can create housing for people down in those communities. But those programs have been abused and tweaked in such a way that, for example, the multifamily tax exemption gives, most of the multifamily tax exemption is going to micro-housing on Capitol Hill, which gives great return, profitable returns to developers, and is not really helping address housing needs for families and for working class people and so on. Will you boldly step forward and address these inequities in the tools, the toolkit the city has that's being misused, like multifamily tax exemption and other issues in the zoning code?
Yes, and I think that goes back to the question that was asked earlier, am I willing to turn off the spigot in areas where that development has been hyperactive and push it for more in areas where it needs to be more equitable? Absolutely, it's the only way for our city to develop in a healthy way. And there are many tools in our toolkit that already exist, and there are also new ones that we can pursue and implement to ensure that that happens. I don't want to see any other communities feel abused the way that Ballard has, or the way that the Rainier Beach neighborhood has, or that folks in the Central District has. But that requires that all of us in Seattle are willing to take on some of the brunt of the growth and the density that's going to continue to happen here. And so part of it also is that we as a community, when we talk about the cultural shift, I can make the hard line ask and I can push for it as mayor. It's also in partnership with communities that we help move our neighbors along and understanding the value of density.
So,
Time.
oh, time is up. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.